Hello guys, welcome back to the Dutch Couch. When I talk about Merseyside, I think of two absolutely massive, humongous, iconic, full of passion clubs. Absolutely football mad in that part of the world. You've got Stanley Park there. On one side you've got Liverpool, on the other side you've got Everton. They might be a mile apart in distance, but trust me, on and off the pitch, they are worlds apart. It's unbelievable. It's pretty sad to see from a blue side. I mean, I personally think Everton fans have been totally mistreated, let down for a number of years by ultimately poor ownership, lack of ambition, basically. I mean, the gap's only getting bigger as well. This is the crazy thing. It's widening. They're not getting no closer. But I mean, Everton, you look at Everton, they haven't won a league title since 1987. So you're thinking sort of 38 years since they won a league. But to be fair, back then, league titles, I'll give these are valid ones. They've won 9 in their history. These are valid league titles for me. These are not league titles you win when you've got Russian billionaires coming in and giving you silly money, or Gulf states coming in and owning clubs. These are real league titles. I mean, 1995 was the last time they won an FA Cup. I think they beat Man United at Wembley, Paul Rideout winner. I might be wrong if I remember watching that on TV as a youngster. I mean, in that time, they've looked over at their rivals, Liverpool, their local rivals, and they've seen Liverpool lift 3 league titles, 2 European Cups, 5 FA Cups, 6 League Cups, a UEFA Cup, amongst other silverware. It must be hard to take if you're classing that as your rival. I mean, this is the only way that I've seen in my lifetime. This is the only way that I can really relate these two clubs. I mean, I've seen Everton constantly battling relegation and underachievement. I mean, in '94, I think they escaped on the last day. I'm sure it was 3-2 against Wimbledon. Graham Stewart scored a late winner. And then this is how I see Liverpool. They go to Istanbul 3-0 down against, let's get it right, a pretty brilliant AC Milan side. 3-0 down at half time, come back and draw the game, and ultimately win on penalties to take the European Cup back home, or Champions League as the youngsters now call it. That sums these two clubs up in a nutshell. I mean, like I said, Everton are battling constant underachievement on the pitch, due literally to bad ownership, poor recruitment. It's impacted massively on the fans. What's happened in that boardroom there has literally controlled what's happened on the pitch. There's no other people to blame but the people who have been in charge. And it's the fans who have missed out and have been let down on numerous occasions. I mean, I'm talking about the Moshiri who was just there. I mean, he spent about £750 million, I believe. I think he wasted it. He's totally wasted his money. I mean, his time there was littered with basically rash overspending. I mean, while he was there were 7 managers. I think on the whole, they was basically disasters, most of them. Again, totally bad recruitment. He got Ancelotti in there somehow. They must have given him a lot of money to go there with a mess they're in. Crazy. It didn't last long. He went back to Real Madrid. Crazy. I mean, with this Moshiri, he ended up with point deduction, sorry. Terrible for breaching PSR rules. Mismanagement again. I mean, I've got to say about the Liverpool owners, FSG, they've not always had a great reputation amongst the Liverpool supporters, basically, because, I mean, let's get it right. They were trying to get in on this breakaway for the European Super League. They wanted part of that Super League, didn't they? And they didn't interact with fans either when they was thinking of giving them huge ticket hikes, the prices for them tickets. So they're not all rosy in this. But the one thing I think the Liverpool owners massively have over the way Everton has been run is the recruitment of management in a huge way. I mean, Roy Hodgson, all right, he wasn't a massive success, was he? Brendan Rodgers, I think, started something there. He played great football, great fast attacking football, and he should have won. He should have won that Premier League. Let's get it right. Obviously, Stevie G slipped over. He gets mocked for it. They lost the league on the back of that. Ultimately, they should have walked it. They had a great side, Suarez and what have you. This is where it changed for Liverpool, in my opinion. The appointment of Jurgen Klopp absolutely, in my opinion, galvanised that club. The connection between the supporters and the players, I think that goes unnoticed. I think Klopp created that, and what he also created was he brought in players that played fast attacking football, a high press. The way he used to get them fans behind him at Anfield in particular. I think that goes unnoticed as well. It's not just about the football. It's what Klopp brought the club together as a whole, I think, in my opinion, personally. But even better than that, I think this guy, Arne Slot, like I've mentioned in another video, I'll put a link to the description of the Arne Slot video. This guy will elevate Liverpool to a whole new level. He's already doing it with someone else's players. He's literally spent next to nothing. He's come in here. He's clever enough to know that he doesn't have to rip up the roots. He's got a great squad of players there. You've only got to see what he's done with Ryan Gravenberch. Been a revelation. Cody Gakpo. And Virgil van Dijk, I think he's absolutely rejuvenated that man as well. Last season, at times, I thought he was wavering. I'm thinking, oh, he's coming towards the end. This season, he's been absolutely top dollar. And a lot of this is down to Arne Slot. He's very adaptable. Great coach. I love him. I think he'll do a brilliant job. At Everton, though, I've got to say, David Moyes, he brought a period where I thought, oh, tell you what, they're on their way back here. He stabilised them. He improved them. I think he was coming between 5th and 8th consistently, I think, in the Premier League. What he done with an Everton squad there, he got them into the top 4, into the Champions League qualifying rounds. Unbelievable achievement. Unbelievable achievement. He was a bright spark in quite a few years in the doldrums for that club. He was a bright spark, 1,000,000%. But I mean, these new owners at Everton, this Friedkin group, I think for once Everton fans are seeing now there might be a bit of a brighter future. I'm just hoping it's not a false dawn for them, because I think they deserve a lot more. I think the first thing they need to do, ultimately, I know they're going to have a plan and a process looking forward. Obviously, they're going into the new stadium at Bramley Moor Docks. First thing they need to do is make sure they just stay in this division. That is paramount. If they go into the Championship in the new stadium, that'll be catastrophic. That'll be absolute disaster for that club. And I wouldn't wish that on them supporters. They deserve so much more than that. I mean, it'd be massively sad to see Goodison go anyway. That is one of the most iconic grounds in this country. I've been there when I was ground up in doing the 92. I sat in the stand at the side, I can't remember the bloody name, the away end, with the wooden seats. That was character. A word I'm going to use here is character. That stadium creates a great atmosphere. When you're at Goodison, you feel that history. You feel the magic there. As soon as I walked around and saw the stadium, you see the statues. So you get the history hit you in the face as soon as you get there. But there's something so magical about that place. And I think it's such a sad state when that's going to be bulldozed and redeveloped. I don't know what it's going to be, probably in flats or something. That's so sad. But on the other side, for a new build, I've got to say, the new stadium there on the docks, now that looks very impressive. And I'm not a massive fan of new build stadiums, but what I like about it is they've kept with the whole idea of not having 10 miles between the pitch and the stands. It's nice and tight. The fans are on top of the players. I think they've made the seats, I think it's quite steep there as well, so the atmosphere is going to be kept in, the acoustics. I think that could be an absolute, I think it could be a beacon of hope for them, Everton. I think that stadium might end up being the making of them. I don't usually say that about clubs moving from old nostalgic grounds to new builds, but I think this could be the making of this Everton as a club. With these new owners and their new plans, whatever they may be. I mean, when I think of Goodison, I think of all the legends who have played there. I mean, you look at the World Cup, I think Eusebio played there in '66 in the World Cup. But I'm talking about Everton legends, the likes of players in my lifetime, Neville Southall, one of the best goalkeepers I've ever seen. My childhood, he's a big part of my childhood watching football, Neville Southall. Such a character. You had the likes of Graham Sharp, the striker. At the same time, I think Ian Rush was in Liverpool. They used to have some great games. I remember watching one game, I'm sure it was a 4-4. In the comments, let me know if I'm wrong here. But I just remember, I'm sure there was like a 4-4 game at Goodison Park between the two clubs. It might be a little bit later than that. But I'm sure Ian Rush was playing. I might be wrong. Let me know. Kevin Ratcliffe, you're looking at the most successful Everton captain of all time there. Alan Ball, these sort of players. Peter Reid, these Everton players in this, earlier than that, you're looking at someone like Dixie Dean, an absolute pinnacle of Everton Football Club. Absolute legend there. Broke all sorts of records and one of the best centre forwards ever in this country, I'm led to believe. Obviously, I didn't see him. It's hard to believe, I probably look old enough. But the only thing I would say, Liverpool have always had the advantage in the respect that globally and commercially, they're on a different scale to Everton. I think they always will be. They've got such a huge fan base around the world, the States, everywhere. Asia. I don't think Everton's ever going to be to their level. But I'm really interested to see what these new owners do. As an outsider, this is how I see these clubs, as an outsider. Let me know in the comments what you think. Don't slate each other. Don't give me pelters either. But one thing's for sure with these clubs, right? I've got to say this. My final note is, because I'm not going to drone on. That city is a real football city. Real football people. And two absolutely real, iconic, historic, amazing football clubs. Thanks for watching. Take care. On to the next one.